Have you ever noticed that just when you think you finally got things figured out, life asks more of you? You work hard, you've mastered what's in front of you, and then out of nowhere, you get stretched once again. That's the nature of growth. It doesn't feel good because it never, ever happens in your comfort zone. How do I know that? Here's what I've learned. Hey now, how is everybody doing? Welcome to Red Alert Diaries with Tanya E. Today, I want to have a conversation about growth because growth often demands an expansion of you. It wants more than you think you have to give, and it never just asks you for what you already know or what you can already do. You see, there's always a stretching both in your comfort and in your skills. And that stretching, it's often uncomfortable and more likely frustrating because it's going to happen at the most inopportune times. You're going to want to be in your happy place, those moments where you have finally for years been laying down a foundation that keeps you stable, and then life will say, we got to do something different. And it often happens when we are trying to move inside of leadership positions. You see, I remember a moment when I was asked to lead a series of public meetings on my job. I was told to ensure the safety of my team in an environment that was kind of hostile, mostly because of the subject matter that we were sharing. It was in that moment that I had to make certain that I was clear about various contingencies to my contingencies. But I had to pause a few moments and consider, Tanya. This is going to stretch a little bit more because I had to engage with a lot more people than I've had in my past to do certain things. And I had to engage with people that did not believe that I had the skill set to do it. But I had to decide, if nobody else believes in me in this moment, there's something that I need to anchor myself to in order to move into a better direction, because I knew when I finally paused to consider, Tanya, something about what you have done has to be able to give you an insight about what to do next in this moment, because I did not get the help that I thought I would, because there were individuals that did not believe I should have had that position to begin with. You will sometimes encounter people, places, and things that don't believe you should be present. And there will be such a resistance against you that you will start to wonder, can you even do this? Do you even have the skill set yourself to walk through that process? I want to encourage you today that there's something that you already possess that's at the core of your being, be it personally or professionally, that you can tap into. You see, I was reminded, being a Black woman in America, that I have always been in a position where I've had to ensure the security of those around me, because at any given time, I would be in a place that would not want me present because of the beautiful hue that I was birthed in. I had to ensure the security of myself and those around me. And I did extra measures, taking the time to take extra layers of the lands. If for some reason we were not welcomed in this place, where could we go for safety? If for some reason what I was bringing could not be brought, because sometimes there were things that I was told that was okay to bring, but when I arrived, all of a sudden the rules change. All of a sudden things are different. When you are experiencing things like that, you learn within you to look in multiple places, different touch points that you can gather insight from. So I took my personal knowledge and I applied it to my professional knowledge. And I did what my team needed. I had contingencies for the environment that we were in. Now, we were having these meetings at different locations. Some of them had decent lighting, some of them did not. So part of my contingency to ensure that my team was able to have what they needed, I had two sets of the presentation, one that had a lighter background and one that had a darker background, so that I can adjust as needed for the lighting in that area. I had backup slides as well, just in case we had to do it on paper, because technology is beautiful when it works, but you have to be prepared for when it doesn't. So I had those things with me. I shipped several things in advance, but there's a moment that you may not always have some things that you send ahead. Yeah, I had to prepare for what happens if the equipment that we needed was not available. Where could I quickly get it? Who could I quickly obtain it? Some of the locations had some of the things that we needed as backup. I made certain that that was available. Some of the places I knew that I had to get some pieces put in place just in case we had to pivot. So I always arrived early. But I learned in that moment that it was the discomfort that I felt that was assuring me that the audience would be fine, that my team would be at ease, and that the measures that I put in place would be available for those unforeseen elements that I was trying to prepare for. All of that was proof that I was stepping into a new level of leadership and proof that I had the skills that I needed to get through it. I know what it feels like to often think, have I done enough? And what about me says I'm really ready for this leadership moment? You know what I found? There are always pieces about who you are that has a basic foundation that can prepare you for that moment, for that next assignment, for that next opportunity. I want you to believe that for you because there will be individuals in your world that will not give you the thought process to believe in it for you. Should you find yourself in that position, here's three things I want to help you just tap into to break through for your stretching so you don't have to always feel overwhelmed. Reframe the stretching moment. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Because a lot of us walk through that element. Ask yourself, what is this growing me? Be it personal or professional, you are experiencing whatever that is. Reframe it in your mind and challenge yourself to shift your thoughts from the resistance to readiness because you are being prepared for the next level and a part of you is already ready for it. That leads me to number two. Know that there is strength that you already possess at the core of your being, basic elements that you already have maximized, just like I had to remind myself that just doing what I do on a regular basis personally, I can apply professionally. And that skill was just a moment that would help me anchor myself into the things that I needed to do for the uncertainty that I was experiencing. Now that gave me a small element, and there was some other basics that you're still going to have to get, but there's a part of it that you possess. Anchor yourself there so that when it gets overwhelming and everything feels uncertain, you know that you can sharpen it, be it your communication, your decision making, or your problem solving skills. Those elements are usually at the foundation of basic skills that you will need that will get you out of your comfort zone, but give you the stretching to support moving through that comfort zone chaotic moment. Here's the third thing. Find yourself some stretch partners. Don't do this alone. Surround yourself with people that will challenge you and encourage you, mentors, peers, a community that gives you a perspective that if it looks a little cloudy on the other side, they can help you get your vision tuned to do things better, to see things better, and to function in a better direction. And here's the thing I want you to do. When you're seeking those stretch partners, seek somebody that already challenge you. For most heroes, there's a villain, somebody that brings out the piece of them that they didn't even know they had. That hero was born because there was a challenge that was resisting them, and you have a part of you that will be born through this moment of discomfort so that you can grow on the other side. Sitting on the edge of my bed trying to figure out how did I get here, but I knew there was a way of getting through this. So I decided to do an autopsy on my marriage. Red alert. Is he the one? The pocket guide to finding the love of your life. The free chapter is available for you in the link below. And so for today, if anything that I've shared with you resonates, then it's time to reset. So like, comment, and share this information with others. And before I leave you, I need to share with you a next level note. It's in the next level notes that I often get greater insight that will help me move through my process. Because when life comes to try to stretch me, resist me, jumble me up, whatever it's trying to do for me, I need to be reminded that I already have a partner with me that will support me through the stretching, that will join me on the journey, that will prove to me to be a sustainer, a counselor, a comforter, a teacher, a protector, a guide, in addition to being a creator and a savior. A lot of you know that I often share, let Jesus join you on the journey because it is in him that you can often go deeper. Think about it. In any encounter that most of the time that people spend with individuals, the more time you spend with someone, the more you get to know them. And for a lot of us, we spend about 8 hours a day with our coworkers. How much time do you spend with others to get a deepness like that? You can often get some insight about what you're going to move through with some of the people that you work with because you spend so much time with them, you know them. God wants to show you a fresh demonstration of his power, his love, his passion. And it is often those three things that people seek when they are walking through the stretching that they feel like they need to get to their breakthrough. He's available for you. And as you spend more time, you'll hear the promptings, you'll hear the twists and turns, and you'll get some insight about where to tap into the elements of your being that you can use that will give you your breakthrough. And so the next time you feel that growth stretches you, don't shrink back. Lean into it. Let that stretching help you get to your breakthrough. And if you want someone to join you on the journey, feel free to go to my website, TanyaEhood.com. There you can click under the Work With Me tab and see the various ways that we can work with one another. In the meantime, this is Tanya E. Hood, walking in my purpose, and I want you to do the same.